Hello again, it's me. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the direction I'm trying to take with this and how slowly it's going. And I want to just say that my only goal right now is to make myself get up and come over here and work on some projects and film it and just throw it up on YouTube for you guys to have a look at. And lately, that's all I've been doing is piddling around because I just had too much other stuff going on. But I do want to get back to the notion of concepts and procedures and tricks and just the notion of generative synthesis, because that's really what I'm interested in exploring. You know, like I said on another video, I like to teach this machine how to play with itself. So this new marbles knockoff from Behringer, I never would have spent the money on marbles. I love mutable equipment. I love noise engineering equipment. I love lots of equipment. I just can't afford any of it. I used to buy it when I was working, but now that I'm retired, I just can't justify it. But I'm finding that I can, you know, and I've managed to maintain the bones of a good system, even though I once had 15U by 126 and 4 different power supplies. But anyway, I'm just simplifying. So what this patch is going to illustrate is the notion of letting a sequence generated by marbles, chaos, what have you, clocking using the T value and getting the X out of the X2 and bringing it into the root CV input. There's the attenuverter for that on Bloom. So I'm seeding the root with some random stepped voltage coming out of this. So you're hearing it, arpeggiating and doing little runs and flitting about. And it's kind of an interesting thing that I'm trying to get control of. I don't have control of it, but I've got it operating here and you might be able to hear it. So I'm going to bring the volume up and just leave it at that for a little while. Got a different spectrum analyzer going on here. This one's pretty illustrative when you've got a lot of notes firing. So that spectrum analyzer down at the bottom is fun to look at. Unfortunately, this old Android doesn't want to communicate to the App Store and doesn't want to upgrade, and so it's frustrating because I could put some better version of Android on it and some newer apps perhaps. I'm kind of stuck with it the way it is, but it's still useful. Instead of just chucking it in a box, which is where it was, it's mounted on a stand here letting me observe the sounds I'm making. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, you hear that up and down. So that's controlled by these steps. If you take steps back beyond 12 o'clock, it turns into more of a sliding all the way down. It becomes basically almost like more like an LFO. In mid-range, it's beginning to step. At least according to DivKid, over here around 2 o'clock you're in a major scale. If you go farther, you start cutting out notes. I've got the length set to 8 here. And I reset this to get rid of the ratchets in there. So if any ratchets show up, they'll be coming from this ratcheting clock here. So this is just an experiment, once again, on this. Sources of chaos. There aren't many out there, and a lot of them are based on the same kind of circuits, the same kind of ideas. Of course, back in the day when it was all analog, they were limited by that, whereas digital designers now have the boon that they can come closer to getting any type of randomness they want, and throwing kinds of twists and things into it that would be hard to do with analog, just in a program, you know? So a lot of these modules are essentially just small computers running programs. This one, this one, this one, this one. My friend over at Noise Engineering started his company, the Decimalo Soteritas, and some of the other modules that they make over there. They built on a custom processor that he loved, that he found wasn't available anymore, or was going to be unavailable. They made the brave move to change the underlying hardware. That's when they came out with their Versio line, which includes stuff like all of their effects, stuff like these noise units. They have a new virtual oscillator that I want to get one. Anyway, back to this. Rate. Okay, we're really zipping up and down the keys now. But what if we wanted to, say, do a drone? We'll slow this way down. Now that's a lot lazier. It does sound a bit adrift. That's the problem you have with ambient music. Some people don't like ambient music because they're like, hey, I just feel like I'm adrift in a rowboat. Other people don't like ambient music because it's not rhythmic enough. And, you know, that's my wife's argument, I think. But one thing you can say about modular is it is rhythmic. It is clocked. Two clocked. And one thing that this unit does is it lets you add some human frailties into this. Okay, I think I've milked this one as for what I can get out of it. I've changed enough settings where it's no longer doing what I set out to do. So, I guess I'll call it quits for tonight. Unless it surprises me somehow. Which it could do. No, I think we'll leave it at that. So, at that, let me just turn the volume down here a little bit and say that, to reiterate, I'm focusing on this module. I want to get back to concepts of synthesis, subtractive synthesis, oscillators, modulators, envelopes, voltage controlled amplifiers, voltage controlled filters, and back into sequencers, new modern fractal sequencers, old 8-step sequencers. And these are the ways that I have fun with these things. So, not for everybody. Hopefully, though, I'm going to be getting another new module in and I'm going to do some moving around. And I may be able to make some films where I'm retrofitting a case and we're trying out some stuff from scratch. In which case, they'll either be crap and they won't get published, or they might be worth looking at and they would get published. We'll see. At any rate, good night all.